Alright everyone, good morning man, welcome back to another trade recap. Today is Monday and I'm not gonna lie man, we are off to a horrible start bro. Basically, Wi-Fi's not working, hotspot's not working, I have no internet, I restarted it like twice. I don't know man, it's just not working bro. It's like, it's been, so what I'm gonna do, I'm about to go like a couple seconds. I'm gonna have to just go to my grandma's house and use her Wi-Fi because I don't want to miss trading today, man. I really don't. So we're gonna do what we gotta do. I spent the whole weekend. My parents came and visited me, man. We spent the whole weekend actually uh, fixing a new office space, man. We got this huge monitor. Well, not really huge, but way better than my old one. New monitor, even a new desk, man. And we even got a new chair, bro. So like, I was looking forward to, you feel me? Looking forward to trading in this new setup. But obviously that's not gonna happen because the Wi-Fi is completely cooked. So yeah, I'm not gonna spend too much time in this video today, man, talking about the what's it called, the pre-market game plan or anything like that, man, because I really gotta just lock in and dude, it's already fucking 7 a.m. I'm already gonna be late to show up on the charts and shit because I still have to go over there and I have to fucking set up and connect. I've been obviously watching the charts on my phone because my service is working fine. I have no idea why it won't just let me connect my computer to my hotspot. I've had like my Wi-Fi go out before, obviously, and I always just connect it to the hotspot and it always works perfectly fine. We've tried restarting everything. I just don't know. So yeah, we're gonna, for right now, man, just gonna focus on getting over there and trading. We're gonna focus on trading first, and then once that's done, gonna try and figure out what the freak is wrong with the internet. So yeah, like I said, super rough way to start the fucking week, but remember, if you guys saw yesterday's video, man, remember the focus for this video, or for this week, we're not focused on obviously we do want a green week, so we're not gonna be hyper focused on getting a green week. We're gonna be focused on sticking to the rules. And then the one big thing that I wanted to do for just this week is go back to one trade a day, man. We're gonna go back to one trade a day, win or loss. I need to prove to myself I have the discipline to be able to do the most extreme, which is one trade a day. And then if I am able to successfully do that this week, then we can go back to the rule, which allows me to take 2 trades one day a week if needed. And yeah, man, I seriously have to go. I'm already late as fuck to the charts, so I'm gonna go out, take the trade, and I'll meet you guys back here. Like I said, man, I'm gonna just leave my camera here. I'm gonna plug my battery in because it's about to die anyways. So yeah, man, sorry that this video isn't gonna be, like with the pre-market game plan and then the mid-trade, analysis and all that shit like how I usually do, but we have no time for that. So I'm gonna catch you guys when I get back here. When I get back here, I will have already taken my trade and we can jump into the recaps. So yeah, man, I'll catch you on a little bit. Alright guys, so I realized that I actually did need to bring my camera because I realized that in order to do the recap, I need freaking Wi-Fi. So yeah, man, I'm over here, man. And if you guys have followed me at all, bro, you probably can already guess that I traded horribly today, right? Just based off of the situation, we wake up, Wi-Fi doesn't work. Spend about 20 minutes trying to figure out that out. Nothing comes of it. So I have to literally trade from somewhere that is not my house, not my office. This is the setup we got. Got the laptop, and then this is my old monitor, which I was borrowing from my grandma, so that worked out well. But now I got a new monitor. I just gave this one back. But I'm not at home, not in my office. And we came late onto the charts, right? Because like I said, man, no freaking Wi-Fi. So yeah, I was looking at freaking SPY on Webull, you know what I mean? But that's way different. That's not the same as having my trading view up here, with all my levels and stuff. So like I'm over here at like freaking 7:06, I think is when I was able to actually hop on, something like that. Just now. Hopping on, finding my levels, my areas of interest, figuring out what is going on pretty much. And it's just horrible. On top of that, we had an insane move to the upside during pre-market. Yeah, bro, I'm just basically getting completely wrecked, bro. Obviously the goal was to stick to one trade a day this entire week, and off rip, man, we completely failed. There's probably no surprise there. And I have taken just really like there's a couple trades that I took that were good, and then a couple trades I took that were just like horrible, like emotional reactions to getting stopped out. I feel like at this point I'm literally just like I don't even know what to say, man, because like I can't follow my rules, which is really bad. And I'm like, it's just like these accounts, man. I've just been going back and forth with them for so fucking long, bro. Like, it's cool, I guess, that I haven't blown them, but it's like, dude, I've literally just been going back and forth from freaking almost blowing my account to almost getting back to break even. And it's just like, I feel like that's probably affecting me also. All right, so I've been doing some thinking, man, and I've realized that the problem that I'm having with these accounts is that I just associate them with losing, right? Whenever I'm trading these accounts, I already associate them with losing, and so that's kind of just causing me to just like I don't know. It's a struggle with the psychology, man. These accounts are literally like every time like they're about to get blown, I somehow go on a winning streak and then I just fuck it all up in one day. That's literally what's about to happen right now. In this trade, we are literally about to hit my stop loss again. So, yeah. This today was just horrible. I mean, fucking annoying because I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix my Wi-Fi by tomorrow. I'm probably going to have someone actually come in and fix it because obviously restarting the Wi-Fi router, I did that like 4 or 5 times. It did nothing. So that's going to be annoying. But yeah, and it's Monday. I have like a bunch of shit I have to do, in terms of like school and stuff. But yeah, man, these accounts are that's a little tangent, but like I said, man, these accounts are like they're basically done for, bro. Like this thing's gonna hit my stop loss. I should have got out break even, but like I just didn't care, to be honest. I was just like, let's just let this thing do whatever it's gonna do. Because yeah, man, at this point it's just like whatever, bro. So what I was thinking is, what if I keep these accounts? I don't like do anything dumb like full port or whatever. I keep trading them, kind of how I'm trading them. Well, hopefully better. Hopefully I can actually stick to one or two of my rules, for a week. That would be cool. Pretty unlikely at this point, right? But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, hopefully we can trade. Like, okay, so what I was saying is we keep these accounts, we trade them, and then we get maybe 2 tops of accounts or my funded futures accounts. We trade those, but we alternate like we do it every other day. So like every other day we'll be trading either a Top Step or an Apex account. So that way I'm not trading both of them at the same time. I'll be able to kind of like get on a different prop firm, kind of give me start something new, you know what I mean? Because like I'm just like so like I feel like my brain is just fried whenever I'm like looking at these fucking accounts, bro. Because like I said, I associate them with losing, I associate them with breaking my rules, I associate them with like getting like halfway to a payout and then crashing out, fucking up my training journal. I just have a lot of negative associations with them. Alright, you guys, so yeah, I just exited my trade, guys. What do you think? Did I win or did I lose a crazy amount of money today? Let's hop right onto screen recording, man, and we can see this is the last trade that I won. You guys can see these little lines. There's a lot of explaining to do, man, for today. So first of all, let me just hop on into TradingView, and I only marked out the trade. So on TradingView today, I only marked out the trades that I thought were decent setups because I took a lot more losses than just this one, man. I did horrible today. We've kind of already discussed that, but I'll get into detail with that later on. But yeah, man, like I said, today, crazy start to the day, very bad start to the day. And then whenever I got over here, I mean, I basically only had levels marked up until like this point. So when I got over here and hopped on the charts, I first had to mark out my supply and demand levels, which I did really quickly, what's it called? I did that all very quickly, because I had already come into markets late, man. I had kind of done it really quickly, really rushed. And I do think that these levels were solid levels, though, using a 4 and 1 hour time frame, I went ahead and marked out. These were the 3 levels I had marked out today, anyways. I expected, we had a very big push. Obviously, at first, we had a very big push down. We kind of chopped. We had like some fake out sort of stuff going on over here. And basically, at first, the very first trade I took, man, I already kind of messed up. So the first trade I took, man, I took this short right here. I entered at the over here. Basically bottom ticked it, and then we ended up like. So basically, we waited for this closure, or like a couple seconds. I answered a couple seconds before this 5 minute close, but we did break below. We had retests. We kind of were just chopping around, but there was some aggressive sell pressure going on at this level. Basically, for me, basically what I was looking for was us to move down, and that's kind of interesting because initially I came to the market bullish today, so I had the right bias. I was bullish today. But I basically just got kind of tricked with these fake outs, and then so once this candle just immediately started ripping, I tried to get out with like only taking half a stop loss, but I ended up losing $93 on this trade. So I got out very quick after this trade ended up ripping. This candle just immediately opened, completely took out this candle. I was like, okay, I was already bullish on the day. It's pretty choppy. I think I'm gonna get out, and then what I did wrong was I just immediately flipped into a long, which was cool. We were up a 1-2-1. And then obviously we just tanked. So those are the first two losses, man. One full stop, one half stop. And you guys can see I was right on this short move here. It doesn't really matter though, because even if I did hold for full stop loss on this trade, I still would have gone stopped out by this candle. So it really doesn't matter. Like I said, we just had some fake outs, in both directions at this level, man. This level wasn't really an important level for the day. But, we got stopped out, and then at this point, man, this trade, so the first trade, I don't think it was bad. Actually, no, screw that. I do think it was bad. I think that if I really wanted to get into shorts, I should have waited for a break of this low, because obviously we've had fake outs. We've been chopping, we've had fake outs in both directions. We've had closures above and below this level, so yeah. My level was kind of basically just in the middle of this chop, so I should have waited for a closure at least below these levels. After this candle, I could have probably just gone away with waiting for a closure below this candle here, which would have been solid. But yeah, after this, man, this next trade is a trade that I don't even want to talk about because it just is so bad. We literally just started tanking. We got below these lows. 7:30 candle open, and I just took shorts. I took shorts at an area of demand just because I simply thought we were going to move down, and that is just really bad. I took a full stop on that, obviously. And bro, it's so disappointing, showing these charts, bro, because it's just this is not how you trade. This is really bad. This is literally the crash out moments, bro. This is basically just me crashing out. You guys can see, But yeah, man, I took a short, and I don't even know why, because even while I was in this short and while I was in profit, I was like, yeah, I'm at an area of demand. I know that whenever the 7:30 candle opens up, it'll usually go in the direction that we were going in first, and then it will just wick back up and then just start ripping, and that literally is exactly what happens with 7:30 candle. I freaking just took short and then we started ripping. So stupid. It's just it's just frustrating for me watching this, just because of how bad this is. But whatever, we'll just get through this explanation. So I got stopped out. This is just me going through my mindset, of the day, by the way. Let me just make it clear, this is really just gambling. The goal was to take one trade today. I took freaking 4. But yeah, that happened, and then obviously this was the perfect setup for today. We tapped into this demand, nice wick, followed by a nice bullish reaction, followed by a nice bullish candle. Took the long, up a 1-2-1, and then we chopped for such a long time, bro. Chopped for a very long time. And then yeah, so in this trade, man, I was in with 3 micros. And then once we came back down here, came back into some fucking drawdown, bro. Came back into some drawdown, came right back up, right back down. And then I figured we would stabilize one of my entries, so I went in with 1 more contract on each of my accounts. Just to go in with my full position size. I haven't used it in a very long time, but I went in, so I basically just re-entered at my same entry, literally, and then moved my stop loss. It was right over here at 58.14.25. So my original stop loss was, what is it, 14, 15, 16? I think it was around 12 or 11.75, somewhere around there. So yeah, at that point I moved my stop loss to 14. I just figured that this low would probably hold, because we had moved up, came back down, tapped into this low, and started to move up. It obviously moved down more, but then we ended up getting very close to my stop loss, and then just climbing back up. I exited this trade for just under $500, which put me up only, dang, holy crap, bro. Every time, bro, whenever I sit through a trade, we get this. Whenever I exit a trade, we just start ripping, bro, I swear. But nah, I ended the day up literally $83. So basically break even. I guess it's not gonna load. Try one more time, just refreshing it. Okay. So yeah, 83 you can see over here. Basically break even. Fine, it's not gonna load. Whatever. Basically break even on the day, man. And yeah, this trade I was in for a crazy amount of time, bro. I don't know why it says the risk to reward is fucking 2.94, because I risked 150 to make like $500. That's not. Let me see. Where's this stop? Is that 14? Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I risked a little bit more than I thought. Who knows? But yeah, it was a great trade. Just none of this was good, and the fact that I took this trade after all of this is still not good. So yeah, it's literally 10:09, bro. This is like the latest I've stayed up in the morning trading for a while, so I'm pretty fried, and just making all these mistakes, bro, is just so frustrating and annoying, dude. But you know, I just wanted to get on the screen recording just to show you guys like what my headspace was, you know, while I was doing this, man. Because it's just a really bad way to start the week off, man. Even though we ended the day green, slightly green, I'm gonna go cut the screen recording here. But even, like I said, even though we ended the day slightly green, dude, this is still a very bad way to start the week off, bro. Because imagine I go into the markets tomorrow. You know, the goal is to stick to only one trade a day for this whole week. Imagine I go into the markets tomorrow, I take a loss. I'm like, oh, I took a loss, you know, but you know, yesterday I took a loss and another loss, another loss, another loss, and so I ended the day green. So let's keep going, and then I just crash out, you know, or I freaking come into the markets tomorrow and I just carry over the psychology. Any way that I look at it, you know, I'm just gonna be dealing with psychology from today, because I'm still like, I'm really not happy with how I traded today. I'm like really disappointed. It took me literally not even a full day, bro, just to completely fail at sticking to one trade a day this entire week. So yeah, it sucks. There were also plenty of really good moves to catch, you know. I got caught in a chop. It's like every trade I was in like a few minutes early or a few minutes late. You know what I mean? So I would hit like a 1-2-1 and then just get launched from my stop loss. And yeah, that's what happens when you just gamble and don't stick to your strategy, don't stick to your risk management, you know. It's like, it's tough, bro, because, you know, I really want this thing to work, but it's just like I just can't ever figure it out, you know. So yeah, I'll catch you on the next clip. We'll talk a little bit more about like I was saying earlier, man. Like I was saying earlier, what I was talking about was I want to get some accounts on some different firms and then alternate, because like I said, I just associate this account with losing and like breaking my rules. So it's kind of like, you know, when you say you're manifesting, you're supposedly like what's it called, like dreaming your goals into reality or whatever, you know, like where you're you know, you guys know what I'm saying, man. But I feel like I'm doing the opposite of manifesting, where I'm like dreaming my failures into reality and just associating these accounts with just breaking my rules and failing and stuff. So it's a frustrating sort of thing that I'm going through right now. But you know, we're gonna discuss that in the next clip, and then we'll just cut the video here. So I'll catch you on the next clip, guys. All right, guys. So man, my camera is literally about to die, so I'm just gonna get this out of the way, man. I want to just kind of reiterate, I guess, what I was talking about while I was in the trade, which is I think that I've really associated these accounts with just like mistakes, with just like losing, with, you know, just not, with just breaking my rules and stuff. And it's just like I've had trouble kind of disassociating that, you know. I think there's certain things, like certain hard rules that I do like a really good job of keeping. Like for one thing is like the size I trade with. I've always traded with a very small size, because I know that I'm not at that point, you know, where I can't count on myself, where I can count. I'm not at that point yet where I can count on myself to walk away. And we've seen that so many times where trading with small size has definitely prolonged blowing accounts. They've definitely saved accounts, you know, from being alone, you know. Like if I traded with larger size, even just like a few $100s of risk more, these accounts would be gone by now. Definitely, for sure, you know. So, you know, I think that there's some things like that I do really good at, but then there's some things like what's happening right now, which is like, I know what I'm doing wrong, I just can't seem to stop myself from it, you know. So I feel like just trying different things, because like I haven't really tried anything. You know, I know that breaking the rules is a hard thing for me to do. So like, you know, I've written them down, I've set goals to, like, you know, stick to this piece of paper, you know, these bullet points, whatever it is.
But I've never actually done it. You know, like I've had weeks where I followed my rules, but it always comes back to shit like today, man, where we just crash out, gamble away a bunch of money, you know. And yeah, somehow I got lucky into the point where I ended the day slightly green, and I made all of that loss back. Let's see, we're down like $400 on the day at one point, a little bit over, and then I caught a freaking $500 trade, a little under, and I ended the day up like $80, which is extremely lucky, you know. I risked another 150, so we were risking 550 today, which is way more than what I'm supposed to do. You know, we're trying to only risk 150 per day. Imagine if I had traded with larger size, right? That would just be just insane. So yeah, there's certain things that I just don't do good at, and like this is one of the points that I'm struggling at. You know, it's like as long as I'm like below break even, I just can't like disassociate this account from like these two accounts from like mistakes and breaking my rules and shit, you know. So it's something I really need to work on. And so what do I think I'm gonna try to do? You know, I'm gonna give myself something to take part of the focus off of these accounts, you know. So like I said, let's try either my fund futures or a top step combine or eval or whatever you want to call it. Maybe we want to get one or two of those, and then we can just alternate days trading. You know, trade some. Maybe Monday we trade what's it called? We trade the Apex. Tuesday we trade the let's say Top Step, and then we just alternate it, bro. Every other day we trade a different account. That way, what I'm thinking is I will be able to, like, I won't have all this focus on just strictly the Apex accounts, you know, because like right now that's what's really frustrating me. I feel like I have all this focus on the Apex accounts and they're not even in profit. And they're not even at break even. They're in drawdown. You know what I mean? And it's like it obviously it's not true, but it does feel like you're not making progress. You know what I mean? Just trying to just drag these accounts out of drawdown, and it's been like weeks and weeks where I get close, and then I have some day like today where I crash out and lose all money, and then it's just like it spirals from there, man. You know, maybe start the week off rough, and then just spirals, man. And so wipe out like a week of like hard freaking grinding, you know, to get that shit right where we're almost at break even, and then just wipe it out, you know, in like another week, and it's just in this back and forth, you know. Um, where I just cannot seem to get to break even, and I know why. It's because I'm focused on getting it to break even. You know, it's like I try to focus on just sticking the rules, trading it as if I already had profits in the account, but in the accounts, but I just can't seem to do it. You know, it always shifts. You know, I take that one loss and then it just shifts. You know, my mindset just shifts from like sticking to the rules to being like, oh my gosh, now we're down this much, you know, so now we have to make this much back in order to just get to break even, you know. And I've already had these accounts for so long. It's just it all just like shifts my mindset. So struggles, man, we are struggling. But I think that I think eventually, maybe I'll finish off this week with the Apex accounts. But then that'll give me time over the weekend to kind of learn how to use the new either My Fun Futures or Top Step, whichever one I choose to do. It'll give me time to learn the prop firm rules. Just take the weekend and study those, figure it out. And then I come to next week, you know, alternating whichever account I want to use, you know. So I think that's a pretty solid idea. Worst thing that can happen, I lose maybe $100 to $200 on a couple of evals, which I think I'm fine with. The best case I feel like is we shift the mindset from associating these Apex accounts with just mistakes and losses. We finally dig ourselves out of the drawdown, because if we're not as focused on actually pulling ourselves out of drawdown, then like, you know, we will actually end up pulling ourselves out of drawdown. And I know it sounds like crazy, but if you trade, you know what I'm talking about. It's like the saying, you know, you don't focus on the money will come. It's basically the same thing with trying to pull accounts out of drawdown. Don't focus on the drawdown, just focus on the quality setups, focus on following the rules, and because that's what you need to do, you know, in order to pull them out. But if you're so focused on drawdown, then that's when you break the rules and shit. So that's gonna be that's gonna hopefully help us with that, and then we'll be able to kind of lock back in and start trading better. So. And also, if we do end up passing the evals, then we will have 2 more fun accounts, which would be awesome. So that's the best case scenario, you know. So I'm willing to, you know, play it out, see what happens, and see if it turns out to be a good or a bad thing to try. And you know, we're trading, we're learning, so it's all just about trying new things and like, you know, gaining different experience from, you know, this, that, and the third. Maybe I find out that I really love Top Step, you know, and I want to just max out on Top Step accounts, and I don't even want to worry about that. You know, who knows, man. But you know, my camera is actually about to die, so I'm gonna just cut it here, man. Very rough day, very bad way to start the week. I mean, this was just really bad. I really hope that I'm not gonna freaking carry this psychology over into tomorrow. So even though we did break the rules today, that doesn't mean that we can't like try, at least for the rest of the week, try to stick to them. You know, just the absolute most that or the absolute extreme, which is just taking one trade a day, and that should help me combat the over trading. Even if I lose every single trade, you know, it'll at least show me that, like, you know, hey, it's okay. You know, we can take one trade and it'll be fine. We can take a loss, it'll be fine. You know, so all that being said, man, I will catch you guys in the next video, and yeah, hopefully I can do a lot better for the rest of the week. So yeah, peace out, guys.